Hello and welcome to week 4 of Grow Your Own Garden Embroidery series with Bats of Leisure. This week will be the last class of this session, and we'll be teaching you how to do some leaves. So we'll be going over fly stitch and chevron stitch, which are two different variations for some leaves that you can pop on your hopefully finished flowers. So looking forward to seeing them this week. So we're going to start with fly stitch, and how we start is we grab a pencil and we draw a straight line, and then we draw a V at the end of that straight line, and then down the line we draw several more V's. And don't worry, we'll be covering this all with thread. Okay, we're going to start our fly stitch. So we've come up on one side of the V, and we are going in on the other side of the V, and then where the V meets the stalk, we are getting into our floating position, which is similar to the position we have been in for the lazy daisy. And like the lazy daisy, you wrap your floss over your needle and you pull through gently, and you'll see that it creates a V. Then you go down, we're just doing a stitch forwards. You come back up on the same side of your V, go into the other side of your V again and get into your floating position. Choo 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 goes the train. And hey presto, there you have it. And then you just continue that until you have a full leaf. All right, so now we're going to start on another type of leaf, and this is called a chevron stitch. The first step of your chevron stitch is just to stitch a back stitch line through the middle of this shape. And this shape is just a line where, you know, the middle of your leaf would be, and then you just put on the shape of your leaf. It can be any sort of shape, but for now I would recommend doing a sort of like a teardrop shape, a sort of more simple shape, you know, nothing like a maple or anything. All right, so I've done my back stitch all the way up to the end. I've cast off, and now I'm coming back in. I'm starting at the base of my leaf. I'm going from the outer edge, and I'm connecting to where my back stitch is, and then I'm coming up on the other side, and you might see that there's like a little bit of like some smaller stitches here that would make it more rounded out. At the moment I'm just focusing on continuing upwards and getting smaller as I go, or rounding it out, and then I can come back and do those small stitches to round out the bottom of the leaf. So I'm going forwards. I'm just laying these stitches beside each other, very similar to the brick stitch that we learnt last week. So this is incorporating a back stitch and a satin stitch. So it's like two of the stitches that you've learnt combined in one leaf. All right, and then this is what a finished chevron should look like. You see it's sort of rounded at the top, and I've got the back stitch there in a different color, just so it's a bit more obvious. But mostly you would do it in the same color as the leaf. Anyway, looking forward to seeing your final designs this Friday.